Hey, beautiful Pisces souls. I just finished doing your reading for this period, and wow, the energy coming through is absolutely fascinating. I'm sitting here with my cards spread out, and I have to tell you, what I'm seeing is so empowering for you right now. You know what's really interesting about this reading? The first card that practically jumped out of my deck was the Eight of Pentacles. And I have to say, this is not what most people would expect when talking about blessings and intimidation. But this card is telling me something so profound about your current situation. The Eight of Pentacles here is showing me that you've been quietly mastering something, Pisces. While others have been making noise and trying to get attention, you've been in your own lane, perfecting your craft, developing your skills, becoming absolutely undeniable at what you do. This card represents dedication, mastery, and the kind of quiet confidence that comes from knowing you've put in the work. What's beautiful about this energy is that it's creating a ripple effect around you. There are people in your orbit who are becoming increasingly uncomfortable with your growth. They're watching you evolve, watching you step into your power, and it's triggering something deep within them. The Eight of Pentacles is showing me that your commitment to excellence, your refusal to settle for mediocrity, is actually intimidating certain people who would prefer you to stay small. I'm getting this sense that these individuals have been comfortable with a version of you that was less confident, less skilled, less sure of yourself. Your growth is forcing them to confront their own stagnation, and instead of being inspired by your progress, they're trying to sabotage it. The energy around this card is so interesting because it's showing me that your mastery isn't just about technical skills or professional abilities. You're mastering yourself, Pisces. You're learning to trust your intuition more deeply, to value your own insights, to recognize your worth without external validation. This internal mastery is what's really making people uncomfortable. I'm seeing how you used to seek approval, how you used to doubt yourself when others questioned your choices, how you used to second-guess your instincts. But the Eight of Pentacles is showing me a complete transformation in this area. You've developed this unshakable confidence in your own abilities and judgment. This shift is so threatening to people who were used to influencing your decisions, who were comfortable being the voice of authority in your life. They're realizing that you don't need their permission anymore. You don't need their guidance, and you certainly don't need their approval to move forward with your life. The Eight of Pentacles is also revealing something fascinating about your work ethic and approach to success. While others have been looking for shortcuts, quick fixes, and easy victories, you've been putting in consistent, dedicated effort. You've been showing up every day, improving incrementally, building something solid and lasting. This approach to success is so different from the instant gratification mentality that many people have adopted. Your willingness to invest time and energy into real skill development, real growth, real mastery is highlighting how shallow and impatient others have been in their own pursuits. Now, the next card that came through is absolutely perfect, and it's the Three of Swords, but not in the way you might think. Usually people see this card and immediately think heartbreak, but the energy I'm getting here is completely different. This Three of Swords is representing the clarity you're gaining through painful realizations about people around you. You're seeing through the facade, Pisces. People who you thought had your best interests at heart are revealing their true intentions, and while it might sting to see this clearly, it's actually setting you free. This card is showing me that you're cutting through illusions, severing energetic cords with people who don't genuinely support your highest good. The beautiful thing about this Three of Swords energy is that it's giving you discernment. You're no longer willing to accept fake love, hollow support, or conditional friendship. You're recognizing that some people only wanted you around when you were struggling, when you needed them, when you were the one asking for help. Now that you're thriving, they're showing their true colors. I'm seeing this pattern where certain individuals are actually trying to convince you that your blessings are too much, that your success is somehow wrong, that you should tone it down or feel guilty about your progress. The Three of Swords is cutting through this nonsense and giving you the clarity to see that these people are not your people. What's particularly powerful about this Three of Swords energy is that it's showing me how you're processing these painful realizations with wisdom rather than bitterness. You're not becoming cynical or hardened by these discoveries. Instead, you're becoming more discerning, more selective, more protective of your energy. The swords in this card are piercing through illusions that needed to be destroyed. Sometimes we hold on to relationships, beliefs, or patterns that are actually limiting our growth. The Three of Swords is showing me that you're allowing these outdated connections to be severed so that you can step fully into your power. I'm also getting this sense that some of the pain represented by this card is coming from your own growth process. Sometimes becoming who you're meant to be requires leaving behind versions of yourself that others were more comfortable with. This can feel like a death of sorts, but it's actually a rebirth into your authentic power. The Three of Swords is also highlighting how your increased clarity is making it impossible for you to ignore red flags that you might have overlooked in the past. Your intuitive abilities are becoming so sharp that you can sense people's true intentions almost immediately. This gift of discernment is protecting you, but it's also isolating you from people who can't operate with the same level of authenticity. Moving forward in this reading, I pulled the King of Cups, and this is where things get really interesting. This card usually represents emotional mastery and compassion, but in your reading, it's showing me something deeper. You're becoming the King of Cups in the sense that you're learning to protect your emotional energy like a sovereign. The King of Cups sits on his throne and he doesn't let the storms around him disturb his inner peace. That's exactly what you're embodying right now, Pisces. People are trying to provoke emotional reactions from you. They're trying to guilt you, manipulate you, make you feel bad about your blessings, but you're not taking the bait. This King of Cups energy is showing me that you've developed this incredible emotional intelligence where you can see people's tactics clearly without getting pulled into the drama. You're observing their behavior with compassion, but also with boundaries. You understand that their discomfort with your success is about them, not about you. What's particularly powerful about this King of Cups coming through is that it's showing me you're no longer apologizing for your growth. You're not shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You're not rejecting your blessings to maintain relationships that were never healthy to begin with. The King of Cups represents mastery over the emotional realm, and I'm seeing how you've learned to regulate your own emotions while not taking responsibility for everyone else's emotional states. This is such a crucial development for Pisces energy, which can sometimes be overly empathetic to the point of self-sacrifice. You're learning that true compassion doesn't mean absorbing everyone else's pain or limiting your own joy to make others feel better. True compassion sometimes means holding boundaries, saying no, and refusing to enable destructive patterns in others. The King of Cups is also showing me that you've developed this remarkable ability to stay calm in the face of chaos. When people around you are losing their minds, getting triggered, or trying to create drama, you're maintaining your center. This emotional stability is actually one of the things that's most intimidating about you right now. People are used to being able to push your buttons to get you upset, to make you doubt yourself through emotional manipulation. But you've outgrown these tactics. You see them coming from a mile away, and you simply don't engage. This level of emotional maturity is rare, and it's making certain people realize they have no power over you anymore. The fourth card in your reading is the Seven of Wands, and this one made me smile because it's so perfectly aligned with your energy right now. The Seven of Wands is about standing your ground, defending your position, refusing to back down even when you're outnumbered. I'm getting this vision of you standing on higher ground while people below are throwing things at you, trying to knock you down, trying to make you give up your advantageous position. But you're not budging. You're holding your ground because you know you've earned your place. This Seven of Wands is telling me that some people are literally organizing against your success. It might not be obvious, but there's definitely some coordinated effort to undermine your confidence, to make you question your worth, to convince you that you don't deserve what you're receiving. But here's what's beautiful about this card in your reading. You're seeing it all clearly. You're not paranoid. You're not imagining it. You're simply aware of the dynamics at play. And instead of being intimidated, instead of backing down, you're standing firmer in your truth. The Seven of Wands is also showing me that your strength is becoming legendary. People are talking about your resilience, your refusal to be moved by their tactics, You're becoming known for your ability to weather storms and come out stronger. What I love about this Seven of Wands energy is that it's showing me how you've learned to fight smart rather than fighting hard. You're not wasting energy on battles that don't matter. You're not trying to convince people who are determined to misunderstand you. You're simply holding your position and letting your results speak for themselves. The figure in the Seven of Wands looks a bit tired, and I think that represents how exhausting it can be to constantly have to defend your right to success, your right to happiness, your right to growth. But he's still standing, still holding his ground, still refusing to give up his advantageous position. This card is also telling me that your current challenges are actually strengthening you. Every attempt to knock you down is making you more resilient. Every person who tries to intimidate you is discovering that you're much stronger than they anticipated. The Seven of Wands often appears when someone has worked hard to achieve a certain level of success, and now others are trying to take it away or diminish it. But this card is ultimately about victory through perseverance. You're going to maintain your position because you've earned it and you're willing to defend it. Now, the fifth card that came through is absolutely fascinating, and it's the Two of Cups in reverse. Normally, the Two of Cups represents harmony and connection, but in reverse, it's showing me the dissolution of relationships that were never meant to last. This reverse Two of Cups is highlighting how your growth is naturally filtering your social circle. People who were only connected to you through shared struggles, shared complaints, or mutual victimhood are falling away as you elevate. What I love about this energy is that you're not fighting it. You're allowing these connections to dissolve naturally. You're recognizing that some relationships were built on a foundation of you being less than you are now. And as you step into your full power, these connections simply can't survive. The Two of Cups reversed is also showing me that you're becoming very selective about who you share your energy with. You're no longer available for relationships where you're always the giver, always the supporter, always the one lifting others up while getting nothing in return. This card is confirming that you're in a phase of relationship refinement, quality over quantity, depth over breadth. You'd rather have 2 genuine friends than 20 superficial connections. The reverse Two of Cups is also revealing something interesting about romantic relationships in your life. If you're in a partnership, this energy might be highlighting imbalances that need to be addressed. If you're single, it's showing me that you're no longer willing to settle for connections that don't meet your elevated standards. I'm getting this sense that some people in your life are frustrated because you're no longer available for the same types of interactions that you used to engage in. You're not participating in gossip sessions, you're not enabling their victim mentalities, you're not sacrificing your own well-being to manage their emotions. This shift is creating distance in relationships that were never truly balanced to begin with. The Two of Cups reversed is showing me that you're okay with this distance. You understand that not every connection is meant to survive your evolution. The card is also highlighting how your new standards are making some people realize they don't actually know how to relate to you when you're confident and empowered. They were comfortable with a version of you that was uncertain, that sought their approval, that was willing to compromise your own needs for their comfort. Moving into the sixth card, I pulled the Queen of Pentacles, and this is where your reading gets really powerful. The Queen of Pentacles represents abundance, security, and the ability to create prosperity, not just for yourself, but for others who are genuinely aligned with you. This card is telling me that your blessings are not just random luck. You've cultivated them through wisdom, through practical action, through making good decisions consistently over time. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't inherit her wealth. She creates it through intelligent choices and sustainable practices. What's beautiful about this card appearing in your reading is that it's confirming that you're not meant to apologize for your abundance. You're meant to enjoy it, to be grateful for it, and to use it as a platform to help others who are genuinely ready to receive support. The Queen of Pentacles is also showing me that your success is particularly triggering to people who have been waiting for handouts instead of putting in the work. Your example is forcing them to confront their own patterns of entitlement and laziness. This Queen energy is very nurturing, but she's also very wise about who she nurtures. She doesn't cast pearls before swine. She doesn't waste her resources on people who aren't ready to appreciate or utilize them properly. I'm getting this sense that part of why certain people want you to reject your blessings is because your abundance highlights their scarcity mindset. Your prosperity makes them feel confronted about their own lack of progress. The Queen of Pentacles in your reading is also showing me that you've developed incredible practical wisdom. You know how to manage resources, how to invest in what matters, how to create sustainable abundance. This practical intelligence is something that can't be faked or borrowed, and it's making your success undeniable. This card is also highlighting your generosity and willingness to share your blessings with others. But it's showing me that you've become much more discerning about who receives your generosity. You're no longer giving to people who take without gratitude or who expect your support without offering anything in return. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who has created a beautiful, abundant life through her own efforts and wisdom. She's comfortable in her prosperity because she knows she's earned it. She's willing to share her abundance, but she doesn't give from a place of guilt or obligation. The 7th card in your reading is the Four of Swords, and this one is so perfectly timed for you right now. The Four of Swords represents rest, contemplation, and strategic withdrawal from conflict. This card is telling me that while there's all this external drama swirling around you, you're maintaining your inner peace through strategic detachment. You're not engaging in every battle that's presented to you. You're choosing your battles wisely. The Four of Swords is showing me that you've mastered the art of non-reactive living. People are trying to provoke you, trying to get you to defend yourself, trying to pull you into arguments, but you're staying centered and calm. This card is also indicating that you're taking time for yourself, creating space for meditation, reflection, and spiritual connection. While others are caught up in drama and chaos, you're cultivating inner stillness and clarity. What's particularly powerful about the Four of Swords in your reading is that it's showing me how your peaceful energy is actually driving certain people crazy. They're expecting you to react, to defend, to engage, and when you don't, it completely throws off their game plan. Your stillness is your strength, Pisces. Your refusal to be drawn into toxicity is actually your greatest weapon against people who thrive on chaos and conflict. The Four of Swords is also revealing that you've learned the power of strategic silence. You're not sharing your plans with everyone. You're not explaining your decisions to people who aren't genuinely interested in understanding. You're not justifying your choices to individuals who are determined to criticize them. This card is showing me that you've created sacred space in your life where you can recharge, reconnect with your purpose, and gain clarity about your next moves. This spiritual practice is keeping you grounded and centered regardless of what's happening around you. The figure in the Four of Swords appears to be resting, but he's also in a position of readiness. He's not checked out or disengaged from life. He's simply choosing when and how to direct his energy. This is exactly what you're doing right now. Exactly what? Now, as we move toward the conclusion of your reading, I pulled 2 more cards that are absolutely perfect for completing this message. The 8th card is the Knight of Swords, and this represents the swift action and clear communication that you're embodying when you do choose to engage. The Knight of Swords is showing me that when you do decide to speak up, to take action, or to address a situation, you do so with incredible clarity and precision. You're not wasting words, you're not getting caught up in emotions, you're simply stating facts and setting boundaries. This card is telling me that your communication style has become much more direct and effective. You're no longer trying to soften your truth to make it more palatable for others. You're no longer over-explaining or over-justifying your positions. You're simply being clear, honest, and direct. The Knight of Swords energy is also showing me that when people do try to challenge you or create problems in your life, your response is swift and decisive. You're not allowing situations to drag on or become more complicated than they need to be. You address issues immediately and move on. What's intimidating about this Knight of Swords energy is that it's unpredictable for people who are used to being able to manipulate or control you. They can't figure out when you're going to respond and when you're going to ignore them. This unpredictability is actually working in your favor. The Knight of Swords is also representing your mental clarity and intellectual sharpness. You're seeing through lies, manipulation, and false narratives immediately. Your ability to cut through confusion and get to the truth is becoming one of your greatest strengths. Finally, the 9th card that completes your reading is the 9 of Pentacles, and I literally got chills when this card appeared because it's so perfectly aligned with everything we've been discussing. The 9 of Pentacles represents independent success, self-sufficiency, and the ability to enjoy luxury and beauty that you've created for yourself. This card is about reaping the rewards of your own efforts and feeling completely comfortable in your own abundance. What's absolutely beautiful about this card appearing in your reading is that it's showing me you're entering a phase where you're truly comfortable with your success. You're not feeling guilty about your blessings, you're not apologizing for your prosperity, and you're certainly not going to reject what you've worked so hard to create. The 9 of Pentacles is also telling me that your independence is what's really threatening to certain people. They're realizing that you don't need them anymore. You don't need their validation, their approval, or their support. You've become completely self-sufficient, and that terrifies people who were used to having some level of control or influence over you. This card is showing me a beautiful garden that you've cultivated entirely by yourself. While others were gossiping, complaining, or plotting, you were planting seeds, tending to your growth, and creating something magnificent. The woman in the 9 of Pentacles stands alone in her garden, but she's not lonely. She's empowered. She's surrounded by the fruits of her own labor. She's wearing fine clothing. She has her bird of prey on her hand, representing her ability to see clearly and act decisively. And she's completely at peace with her solitude. This is your energy right now, Pisces. You're the 9 of Pentacles personified. You've created your own kingdom, and you're ruling it with wisdom, grace, and absolute confidence. The 9 of Pentacles is also showing me that your success has a quality of refinement and elegance that comes from doing things the right way. You haven't cut corners, you haven't compromised your integrity, you haven't sacrificed your values for quick gains. Your abundance feels clean and sustainable because it was built on a solid foundation. So let me tie all of this together for you because the message from your cards is so clear and so empowering. You are currently in a phase of your life where your growth, your success, and your elevation are triggering deep insecurities in people who were comfortable with a smaller version of you. These individuals are not randomly attacking you or trying to undermine you. Your very existence in your current state of empowerment is challenging their worldview, their excuses, and their comfort zones. You represent what's possible when someone commits to their own growth and refuses to accept limitations. The fact that they want you to reject your blessings tells me everything I need to know about their intentions. True friends, genuine supporters, people who love you authentically would be celebrating your wins, not trying to make you feel guilty about them. You have become their nightmare, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're doing everything right. You're showing up as your authentic self. You're claiming your power. You're enjoying your blessings, and you're refusing to dim your light to make others comfortable. The energy I'm getting from your cards is that this is just the beginning for you, Pisces. Your blessings are going to continue flowing. Your success is going to keep expanding, and your confidence is going to grow even stronger. As for the people who are intimidated by you, who want you to stay small, who are actively working against your happiness, the cards are showing me that their efforts are going to backfire spectacularly. The more they push against you, the more clearly their true nature is being revealed, and the stronger your boundaries are becoming. You are learning to trust yourself completely. You're learning to value your own opinion above the opinions of people who don't have your best interests at heart. You're learning that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is refuse to engage with toxicity. Your cards are telling me that this phase of your life is about claiming your sovereignty. You're not just succeeding in external ways, you're mastering your internal landscape. You're becoming emotionally intelligent, spiritually grounded, and energetically protected. The people who are trying to intimidate you are discovering that you're not the same person you used to be. You're not easily manipulated anymore. You're not desperate for acceptance or approval. You're not willing to sacrifice your peace for the comfort of others. This is making you incredibly powerful. And power is always threatening to people who prefer to control rather than empower. Moving forward, I want you to remember that your blessings are not accidents. They're not things you need to feel guilty about or apologize for. They're the natural result of your growth, your choices, and your alignment with your highest good. Anyone who wants you to reject what's good in your life is not operating from love. They're operating from envy, from fear, from a scarcity mindset that believes there isn't enough good to go around. But you know better, Pisces. Your intuitive nature has always told you that abundance is natural, that there's enough for everyone, and that one person's success doesn't diminish anyone else's potential for success. Keep trusting that intuition. Keep following your inner guidance. Keep refusing to shrink yourself for people who were never meant to grow alongside you. Your cards are showing me that the people who matter, the ones who are truly meant to be in your life, are going to celebrate every blessing you receive. They're going to be inspired by your journey, not threatened by it. These are your people. Focus on them. Pour your energy into relationships that are reciprocal, supportive, and genuinely loving. As for everyone else, let them be intimidated. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them reveal their true colors so you can make informed decisions about where to place your trust and attention. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions about your success. You are not required to make yourself smaller so others can feel bigger. You are not obligated to reject your blessings to maintain relationships that were never healthy to begin with. Your only responsibility is to yourself, to your growth, and to the people who genuinely love and support you. The cards are showing me such a bright future for you, Pisces. This current situation with people trying to undermine you is temporary. It's a test of your strength, your boundaries, and your commitment to yourself. And you're passing this test with flying colors. I'm also getting this vision of you 6 months from now, completely transformed by this experience. The people who are causing problems in your life right now won't even be relevant to your story anymore. You'll have moved so far beyond their energy that they'll seem like a distant memory. Your cards are showing me new opportunities coming in, new people who are aligned with your elevated energy, new levels of abundance that you haven't even imagined yet. All of this is possible because you're refusing to reject your current blessings or to shrink yourself for people who can't handle your light. The transformation you're going through right now is going to serve you for the rest of your life. You're learning skills and developing strengths that will make you absolutely unstoppable in whatever you choose to pursue. Stay in your power. Keep enjoying your blessings. Continue trusting yourself above all others. And remember that anyone who is intimidated by your light was never meant to be part of your inner circle anyway. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and becoming exactly who you're meant to become. The universe is supporting you every step of the way, and your blessings are just getting started. Trust the process, beautiful Pisces. Your cards are telling me that everything is working out in your favor, even when it doesn't look like it on the surface. You've got this, and you're going to continue thriving no matter who likes it or doesn't like it. The Nine of Pentacles energy tells me that you're going to be looking back on this challenging period as the time when you truly came into your power, when you learned to value yourself properly, when you discovered just how strong and resilient you really are. Keep shining, keep growing, keep claiming what's yours. The best is yet to come.